Next up is a session with somebody who actually redefined what it is to be a woman and a successful woman way before it was even part of public discourse. So we speak of breaking the glass ceiling now, but look back to the 70s when already there were women, and there was one particular woman who had moved from being a dancer to being a film actor, moved on from that to being a director, a producer, a playback singer, a Rajya Sabha member, and then a Lok Sabha member, and still continues to bear herself with the same kind of glamorous composure with which we first received characters like Sita or Geeta, Basanti, and so many others that completely dominate our imagination. So many years later, when you still see that bright-faced chatter of a woman who could maintain a dialogue for 4 minutes at a run, it still enthralls generations 30 years later. What's fascinating about Hema Malini is not just that she accomplished all of this, but that she started out being the daughter of a very conservative Tamil Brahmin family and moved into the extremely public, competitive world of Hindi cinema, held her own over there. And just a few weeks back, we had Vidya Balan, and we were talking about the genre of women-centric films that women like her and others like Kangana Ranaut have created. But if you really look at the seeds of that, it was sowed way earlier in the 70s when a woman like Hema Malini and her prowess could convince actors like Sanjeev Kumar and Dharmender to play what was basically secondary roles to a woman-centric film driven by Hema Malini and Sita or Geeta. She has acted with directors that are iconic, and fascinatingly, her first screen test was taken by none other than Raj Kapoor. So to really hear about all of that, that transition from the little girl who was so committed to her dancing that she would look out of the window and wonder, what were all these other children doing? What were they laughing about? What were they talking about? Because her commitment to her dance was so extreme that she was barely given a childhood. What enabled her to make that journey to who she is today? Her belief, her faith, the people who have played a major influence in her life, from her guru to her mother to directors to her relationship with Krishna. To speak about all of that, we have today not just Hema Malini, but someone who has tracked her story with great devotion, a film critic and writer and journalist, Ram Kumar Mukherjee, who did a book on her earlier, but then realized that while Hema Malini was frozen in everyone's mind as this beautiful face, typically called the dream girl, there was a story which went way beyond the dream girl. So today, we are privileged to have both of them to understand that phenomenon of the woman way beyond the dream girl. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hema Malini and Ram Kumar Mukherjee. Hema will be very happy to sign it after this session is over. And Prashant also has a book, and he'll be here and will be happy to sign. So please buy in large numbers. Thank you, Hema ji.
Namaskar, pranam.
Thank you for being here, Hema and Ram. You know, Hema, we started this evening with a young lady, Rose Savage. I was telling you about her and how she really moved from a very ordinary life as a management consultant to becoming this woman who rode across oceans. And in that, she spoke most of all of a shift in her mind, you know, and in her way of looking at life. So I wanted to start not the conventional way of asking you about your roles and your directors, but this grappling with the mind. You have spoken about Girija Devi, your guru and your mentor, who really helped you cope with the pressures. Indira Devi, who helped you cope with the pressures and stresses of being a superstar. Can you talk to us about that relationship, and what did Indira Devi help you understand about centering yourself?
First, let me say that I'm extremely happy to be here with all of you in Delhi for this session. She is my spiritual guru, Ma Indira Devi. I will just say how I started my life is my full inspiration is my mother. She's the one who brought me whatever I am today. But as you grow, there are spiritual um, uh, help you need. So that's the time I met Ma Indira Devi. She inspired me spiritually to do a lot of things which I followed. So she has given me a lot of strength to me to face many, many things in this world.
So what was that basic understanding, Hemaji, if I may share with the audience? You know, as we all know the kind of superstar Hemaji was, but there's a fascinating line in the book when you said every time you got a new contract and a new film, you felt, oh my God, that's another year of my life gone, you know? And there wasn't so much joy as almost burden in being in the top of the profession as you were. And then after you met Indira Devi, you began to take more pleasure in your life. So that's what I wanted to understand. What was that shift? How did she help you take more pleasure in your success?
See, basically, I am a dancer. From dance, I came into films. I was very successful actress, but I did not know that so much pressure is there on me because I continued my dance throughout, along with my film shootings. In fact, I used to do shooting half a day. After 2 o'clock, I used to go to the theater and perform, then again come back next day. So that is how I divided both my film and my dance. After a certain time, what happens, I think it was too much for me to face both of them. Then a time comes that you want to have your own personal life. You cannot be all the time just running around for film shooting and then just dancing. So the different I needed. So that is where I met Ma Indira Devi through my family friend. And she gave me a lot of help as to face many things. Then I will say that was the age for me to get settled down, wanted to get married, wanted to have somebody in your life. So I don't know how to tell my parents, but they were looking for me, many people, but they were not at all suitable. Because the way I'm leading my life, and some Brahmin Iyengar person, because my father was looking for that. Then I remember that incident. Not ad, my father had gone to see somebody and then came back home and told my mother, oh, I have seen this boy is very good. Then my mother said, Acha, then what all they said? That mother of the boy is saying whether she knows cooking. And then she will stop acting and all that, and then she'll stay at home. You know, this kind of very conservative. That's natural. There is nothing wrong in their expecting such things. But I was going in a different direction, so it was very difficult. So I used to meet Ma Indira Devi ji. She used to tell me, you do that film, you do this, then do the film Meera. You know, she was actually I will say, the incarnation of Meera. So I wanted to, sometimes I used to feel I don't want to do anything, I just want to become Mirabai. You know, because so much of work is there on your head, so sometimes you want to relax, you don't know how to do it. So these are the things. So then she understood what is happening to me. Then she said, she helped me in getting me settled down in life.
So in fact, Ram, I'm going to come to you, but just to get a little more into the conversation with Hemaji, you know, you mentioned two things which were huge in your life, Hema. One, as you said, was your mother, and I'd love you to share a little more about your mother. She was always there with Hemaji on the set. She's the one who decided that she would dance, and then it's really her ambition which made Hema become an actress, because Hema didn't want to be an actress at all, was to fulfill her mother's ambition. And then her mother was with her all the time on the sets. Many people thought of her as being someone who controlled your life, who dominated your life.
Yes.
But you seem to share a very unique bond with her, that you almost enjoyed a friendship with her rather than a mother-daughter relationship. So can you talk about your mother? And do share that anecdote where she tore up the film contract that was unfair to you and which was done by your first producer.
Yes, he was a person who introduced me into films. He's the one who produced Sapno Ka Saudagar. But he was, I will say, he was very highly intelligent lawyer. But I think lawyers are little cunning, right? I was too young. I was not knowing anything. But I was made to sign a contract when I was a minor. So that's when Sapno Ka Saudagar started. But the day I became major, he brought a contract and said, you have signed a contract for 7 years. Whereas we signed it, according to my parents, it was only for a 2 years contract till I complete Sapno Ka Saudagar. Then I don't know how I landed up having 7-year contract, you know. So that is how he did some kind of a mischief. So my mother got so angry. She said, I don't care whether you make this film or not. She tore the whole contract and threw it on his head and said, we are going. She was such a strong lady, you know, and then film was already half completed, so he got very scared and all, but still, we did the film. But she was a very dominating personality. She helped me grow up in such a way, completely disciplined life, and lot of things, I'm so proud that I had a mother like her. But she was dominating, definitely.
Can everybody hear Hema ji at the back? Will you just talk a little closer?
Like she wanted me to work in films, but she won't like too romantic scenes to be done. So the producers used to be very scared when my mother comes to the set. So, oh, mummy aa gaya. Then they will try to, you know, when she's sitting in front of me and I'm facing the camera with the hero, even heroes are very nervous. In Abhinetri film shooting, Subodh Mukherjee was the director. We had a scene, wedding anniversary ka scene tha with Shashi Kapoor. You know, that lovely, beautiful scene. But the producer, the dance director, the actor, all are scared. And they are trying to delay the shot for my mother to go away. Because she used to visit every day in the evening. Wherever I'm shooting, she'll come and she'll say, watch, everything is okay, then she will go.
So finally, Hema, you did somewhat rebel against her and say, I think I should just get out of films.
Then I told her, yeah, you want me to act in film, but you don't want me to do romantic scenes. So it's very difficult for me to, you know, convince both of you, mother and the director. So I was facing that problem for some time. But anyway, you can see none of my film will have very, you know.
Hema ji, I have to say, I do note a tone of regret in your voice.
No, I'm very happy. Finally, I met Dharamji. No? Then he broke everything. He took me where he wanted me to be.
Yes. In fact, that's a perfect space to enter the conversation. Again, another fascinating insight, and I'm going to come to the Dharamji story very quickly. But fascinating insight is that you fell madly in love with Dharmender ji. But when Ram asks you in the book, what about him attracted you so much, you said he was a bit like my mother, always telling me what was right and wrong.
Finally, I realized from my mother to him is the same.
So how did an independent woman like you, so sure of yourself, need two people in your life always telling you what was right and wrong? You know? Explain that to us.
But I did what I wanted to. See, when you love someone, nothing can stop. Even the God is always there with you.
Well said. So befitting of your life, Hema ji, you know, the whole saga with Dharamji, do share it with the audience. You said that your parents were looking for Tamil Brahmin boys for you, but actually they got so desperate they were trying to marry you off to Jitendra also, you know. And Dharmender ji landed up there and stopped that. So you have to tell us that. It's really worthy of a superstar.
My God. This is all written in the book. I think when you read it, it will be more interesting than my saying now.
No, we'll tempt them to buy the book. I ensure all 300 are going to buy your book, but share the story with us.
But if she doesn't share, then I think they will have no choice but to buy the book.
Trust you. This is an audience committed to the existence of books. They will buy it, but first share the story. Please, Hema ji.
I mean, the true story. No?
The true story.
No, I mean, it's very interesting and nice for a girl to feel that so many people are interested in her, right? But I did not realize I'm a star. So naturally, so many, it's not just the fans who are watching the films, they fall in love. Even the actors who are with us can. So when they find a very eligible girl, so definitely they will propose, so there is nothing wrong in that. So it's the choice is mine. Like a Swayamvar, no?
Well said. So in that Swayamvar, why did you choose Dharamji?
Because I felt he's the right person. It is, what happens, I was working with Sanjeev Kumarji, Jitendra, so many of them, then Rajesh Khanna, Shashi Kapoor, all of them are there. I think Sanjeev Kumarji was
In love with you. Yeah.
Yes. Whatever
That's an
it is.
understatement.
Yeah. I felt very interesting it is, no? Somebody is in love with me.
But you know, funny thing about this, she can continue, which she only told me in the book, that she never knew that they were in love with her. She used to come to know from others, no, Hemaji?
So I'm going to come to you in 2 minutes.
Then of course, I was shooting with Jeetu ji. So he came with a proposal. Ki Haribhai is very keen on you, so are you interested? At that time, I was not at all interested in marrying or anything, but because I was just hardly 22-year-old that time. So I was busy working. No, I'm not even thinking of all these things at that time. Then, as the time went on, then he said, we can also see each other, you know, why not? I found it's right. He's also definitely eligible, so why not? So we were working also, and then we used to talk a lot. Then naturally their parents were also interested, so they came with a proposal to my parents. By the time Dharamji is already was there in the picture.
I love your understatement.
So he was, he used to keep saying that he's very much in love with me. I used to take it as a joke, you know, what is he talking? Only that time I realized when he landed up in Chennai when this whole thing was going on. So he's genuinely, he wants me
to be with him. So let me finish the story, but please promise to buy the book so that Hemaji doesn't freeze up on us on stage. Was that with typical style, she's understating it. Both Jitendra's girlfriend and Dharamji landed up at this engagement ceremony and created such a ruckus that finally Dharmender ji was allowed private time with Hema. And clearly he managed to convince her because that engagement with Jitendra broke. And Hemaji and Dharmender were very much in love, were together, but Dharmender wasn't moving on getting married to her. So with the perfect pre-politics of becoming a politician, she decided to start acting in films with Jitendra again. And the next thing you know, Dharmender and Hema Malini became the pair that we always celebrate. So Ram, let me come to you. You know, when you were doing this book, and it's got some fascinating insights into Hema, tell us what was your greatest surprise and find? You know, you'd already done a book on her as the dream girl. But when you started to explore beyond the dream girl, what was the most surprising insight you came away with about her?
The most interesting fact about Hema Ji when I started writing this book, Beyond the Dream Girl, first I had to really convince her for this book because she doesn't believe in talking about her achievements at all. She's been like that. And so the whole focus was what people know, they know. I mean, that's in public domain. So those are the things I have touched upon in the book. If you have read the book, so you'll know what I'm talking about. But there are a lot of incidents which she has never spoken, never shared. Her colleagues, for the first time, both her daughters have spoken, really outspoken in the book. So there are different dimensions. So in India, when you talk about biography, it is always one-dimensional. I thought of breaking it and giving different dimension to it so that it reads like a screenplay or reads like a movie script, because her life is as interesting as any blockbuster. So that's where my challenge was, to kind of tell incidents which has not come out before.
And don't do a sales pitch for the book. First, tell me what was the insight you got on her that you did not have of her before?
The insight which I got from her is a very small incident. I'm repeating again. Maybe Hema Ji will be saying that he repeats wherever he goes. After her father's demise, she went through this financial loss and little stress because of tax payment and all that stuff. By the time she was already married and she was seeing Dharamji, and so she had to pay off an amount, which is a huge amount. In those days, 80 lakhs to 1 crore. That's when she had signed films which she didn't want to. She did a couple of films which she was not too happy about. So when I asked her, while interviewing her for the book, that why didn't you ask Dharamji? It would have been very easy. So the one answer, she turned around and in a very Hema Malini style, she said that why would I do that? So from that, I realized that she is an independent woman and she just doesn't just preach, she believes in it. So the whole insight when I was writing a second book on Hema Ji was that she had lived, she had faced her struggle and challenges, and she fought her own battle. Every time there was a challenge, she fought her own battle. When post-marriage films started, reducing as per our, male chauvinistic industry, she would accompany Dharamji, and beyond a point, she would feel that, oh, I was just a few months back, I was playing these roles. I mean, she's spoken like in the book about that. That's when she started thinking that, so is it over for me? So it was a battle that, the inner battle that she was fighting, and she being an introvert, she could not probably talk. And you know that in this industry, you don't have too many friends. So who would she go and share her concerns with? She was a reigning queen. She was #1. So how?
Yeah.
So those are the things which has come out in the book very nicely. For the first time she spoke, I think.
See, this kind of a problem happens to a person who is too busy in working. But of course, your your family members are there to look after the taxes and all that. So somewhere it got missed out. So my father used to keep on saying, you have to pay a lot of tax, you have to pay that. And there's a time that incident took place and he passed away. And I knew that I have some liabilities are there. So how do I cope up with that? So I used to work in, as he has written, many of the films, whatever is good, bad, ugly, any kind of film I was working. And then I said I had to pay back all the taxes. So I was clean when I came out.
So, Hema Ji, one more, we'll move to your politics and, your films. But just to get, again, a little more insight into your upbringing and what gave you strength. As I was saying, we all live our lives on different canvases, but the life of a superstar is so public. Even your private, personal things are so public. So, again, would you talk to the audience about the fact that Dharamji was already married and he had children, but, you had the courage to love him and to marry him. And he divided his life between both his families. And you've said that in an ironic way, it was your conservative upbringing that gave you the courage to actually marry your love? You know, can you explain that? What did you mean by that?
No, of course, my family definitely protested this. That's the reason I could not say yes to him for a very long time. Then I explained to my mother that, I'm not finding anybody right for me because being in the industry for so long and come to this level, it is very difficult for me to accept anybody else because I find him the right choice for me. So without disturbing the other family, I want to be with him. That is my decision, for which my Guru Ma also, she accepted it. She said, yes, he's the right person. So I took the decision and my family also supported me. And we have lived a very dignified life so far.
Yes. And, you know, I'll come back to your daughters, but just to move away a little bit now to your films, you know, again, it's a priceless anecdote that Raj Kapoor really took your screen test and he gave you that certificate that you were going to be somebody. Will you share that experience? You know, what was it like to give a screen test? I think you were barely 16 or 17 at that time, and he was much older, but you were paired with him. Just describe that first screen test, out of which Hema Malini was born.
I was offered to work in a Tamil film, but it did not materialize because that Tamil director somehow felt I am not fit for a heroine. But I was too young that time, you know, quite thin, and South Indian heroines used to be nice and plump. So that was the problem. And of course, I did not know acting at all because I was in Delhi, then shifted to Chennai, and I was not knowing what is happening. My mother used to say that you just practice dance and going to school. That was happening. And that's the time Mr. Ananthaswamy, the producer who signed me, he said, will you act with Raj Kapoor? Because I have been rejected by one South Indian producer, I immediately said, yes, I will do it. So I was brought to Bombay with my mother and brother. I came, and to my surprise, I thought he is just joking, you know. कि ये सच तो नहीं है, पता नहीं क्या बोल रहा है राज कपूर कहाँ आने वाले हैं. And then where we were staying in a hotel, suddenly I saw Raj Saab. He's really there. And then he said, you are coming to my studio, RK studio tomorrow afternoon, and we are going to have a screen test. So I was quite excited and little worried and scared also. And then the Ananthaswamy, I'm very much thankful to him for doing all this thing for me. He was a very perfect producer, I would say. He took me, and then the screen test was done. Though I did not know anything, ABC of acting. So I told Raj Saab कि मुझे क्या करना है. He said, मैं जो बोलूँगा उसको आप repeat कीजिए, that's all. Then they gave me the address of जिस देश में गंगा बहती है, like Padmini had worn Ghagra Choli, because the role of mine was a gypsy girl. So he gave that, and then screen test के लिए, yes, I'm ready. And then I'm just waiting for Raj Saab. He says, I'll say action, and then you have to speak that line. I said, okay, ठीक है. So half an hour हो गया अभी तक कोई I'm ready standing for that action. तो कोई बोल ही नहीं रहा कुछ भी. तो मैंने देखा क्या हो रहा है. तो कैमरा के पीछे so many people were there. They were all looking through the camera. Raj Saab is calling and showing. So मुझे लगा कि कुछ something is wrong, and I don't think they like me. शायद they are going to reject me again. You know, second time I'm going to get the rejection. I was worried. I asked my makeup man, my dress man, they were all standing side by. Then he said, don't worry, आप बहुत अच्छे लग रहे हैं. आप don't get scared. Come on, आप dialogue. They were all inspiring me, all those. The staff of Raj Saab. And then finally, Awaaz Aayi, action. So I spoke that. Small 2 lines were there. I don't remember what was that line. But I spoke that, cut. Then again silence. तो शायद बहुत खराब मैंने एक्टिंग की, पसंद नहीं किया होगा. Then uske baad, they called me in the, Raj Sahab had a very famous, his cottage, you know, at RK Studio. So वहाँ पे बुलाया और बताया कि वहाँ पे के आसिफ साहब, Shankar Jaikishan, Shailendra, you know, all those big stalwarts. They were all there and they all said कि Raj Sahab ने ये कहा कि आज एक one star is born. वो ये सुनने के लिए इतना टाइम लगा. But it was so thrilling, and then he took me to his house. There he introduced me to his wife, his sons, everybody. You know, it was such a beautiful experience that day.
Do speak a little bit.
Yes.
So, Ram, again, I'm going to come back to you, but she's a treasure trove of stories. Hema ji, another fascinating chapter in the book is about Hema, the hunter wali, you know. So, again, give us insight. I mean, how did you take so easily to being someone who was whipping and jumping on fans and chasing tongas and riding tongas? Which were you? Were you Sita or were you Geeta?
See, that is where, in the beginning, I also did not know what. Nowadays, there are so many institutes are there for acting. You know, they learn. There are so many professors are there to teach you how to act, how to face the camera. I knew nothing. So I've signed about 6 to 7 films. And different roles I was doing. Like after Sapnon Ka Saudagar, it was Abhinetri, then Jahan Pyar Mile, and Tum Haseen Main Jawan, Sharafat, then Galiyon Ka Raja. ऐसा अलग-अलग किस्म के pictures. How do you act? अपने आप acting आती है ना, इसका मतलब talent है.
Talent तो है.
अगर talent है, तो आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, कोई भी acting कर सकते हैं. Yeah, I realized it because I was not knowing how do I'm going to perform. In Sapnon Ka Saudagar, I'm playing the role of a gypsy girl, you know, maar dungi chakku, like that. Suddenly, I am such a timid person at home, behind my mother, all the time, and suddenly maar dungi chakku. Dialogue bolo, haan bol diya. Then I said, Arey, how did I do it? You know?
Yeah.
Then that is how, working with so many different directors, I was able to do all different kind of characters, roles. Very nicely I was doing, which I'm really proud of. And that's the time, then Johnny Mera Naam came up, and Sita Geeta. Ramesh Sippy had signed me for Andaz first. It was a very soft, beautiful role I played. Then completely contrast to that, he gave Sita Geeta. And he said, you do like this? Immediately I was able to do any kind of role for that matter.
Yeah. So, Ram, let me come to you that of all the directors that Hema's worked with, and you've tracked a lot of them, who did she feel when she was talking to you, who did she feel was the most seminal in her life and really made a big impact on her career?
This is a no-brainer, Ramesh Sippy and Gulzar. I mean, if you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. Ramesh Sippy, because he gave Hema ji maximum number of commercial hits. And Gulzar Sahab to understand Hema ji, and even Hema ji also wanted to do that kind of cinema. Today, in today's time, we call it parallel cinema, but in Hema ji's time, Hema ji used to say that hatke film, low-budget movies and all that stuff. So she wanted to do those kind of movies with Gulzar Sahab, and she knew Gulzar Sahab since Andaz. He was a writer. So I think Gulzar and Ramesh Sippy are the most important directors in Hema ji's life. In the second phase, I think Ravi Chopra Sahab, he's no more. I mean, he gave Baghban. So that is also, I think, very important in Hema ji's career.
Vaise, I have worked in some of the producers' film repeatedly, you know, like Pramod Chakravarti. He used to sign me in every film. I think he has worked only with me. He has not signed any other heroine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Madan Maula, then Sharafat. Shakti Samantana, I just worked in one film.
So I'm going to, as I said, you know, move on to, there's so many other aspects of your life to explore. But before that, one treat, Hema ji, do you remember any of Basanti's lines? Can you do it for us?
40 साल हो गया है.
हाँ तो आपको तो याद आएगा.
याद तो
You said the moment you asked, I'm saying action.
The funniest part is when I go for campaign, so nobody is interested in listening to my political speech. They all wait for me to say that dialogue.
That's why
After I
you
finish my thing, Jai Hind, everything, then nobody is going. I said, खत्म हो गया भाषण. इनसे जरा dialogue बोलिए ना. कौन सा dialogue? शोले का बोलिए, बसंती का. Then I have to just say, चल धन्नो, आज तेरी इज्जत का सवाल है, इतना बोलो, so they are very happy.
No, but we are not an election rally. We are not letting you get off that easy. Please, little bit more than that. What's beautiful is that really he asked you to speak. Ramesh Sippy speaks in the book about how he asked you to speak non-stop and you had to learn almost 8-10 pages of dialogue and yet you delivered it perfectly, you know. So you have to allow us to relive the magic a little bit.
Now I want, after 40 years, you are asking me to speak
But
those
beyond
lines.
the dhanno, beyond dhanno.
It's very difficult, my God. I mean, I thought it is difficult, but the way, Javed, it is up to you, how do you write the script, you know? The dialogues are written so comfortably, so beautifully. So one after the other, it was easy to deliver all the lines, even though it was for 2 pages, 3 pages sometimes, and continuously I'm speaking, and that too in front of 2 big actors all the time, you know, Dharamji or Amit ji. दोनों के सामने साथ में ही होता है, all these dialogues I have to speak in front of them. So I had to be more alert in remembering the lines, and which I think at that time very easily I did it. I was in a flow, so I was able to do it.
Okay, I'll let you off, but let me just share a quick other anecdote. You know that Dharmender actually wanted to play the role of Gabbar Singh, and Ramesh clearly didn't think that was a good idea, but he wasn't being able to convince him. So he said, fine, but if you play Gabbar Singh, then Sanjeev Kumar is going to get all the romantic scenes with Hema Malini. So the Hema impact is more than we realize.
But I think we had a beautiful role together.
Yes, absolutely.
Veeru and Basanti, no? Yeah?
So, Hema, let's move on to, you know, the phase with your children and then moving on to politics. But Isha has a very poignant anecdote in the book when she said that she would often try to wipe the nail polish off your feet because nail polish meant you were going out somewhere, you know. So how did you manage that? I think we are underestimating just how much you managed as a woman who was married but running your own household, earning money, buying your house, looking after 2 daughters, conservative parents.
I think it was very interesting. The whole, that phase of my life was extremely beautiful, I'll say. And I was able to do everything. Aisha, as she was growing up, because all the time she will want mama, mama. Even if I have to go to school, go to shooting, she's just a 2-year-old. Usko main sula ke phir jati thi. So she won't sleep. So I used to take her for one round in the car. She will sleep. Then I put her to sleep. Then I go for shooting. So like that, in the evening she'll be waiting for mama again. So if I had to go out somewhere to any party or something, then she won't like it. So that is where she used to remove it.
But Hema, today so many women after they get married give up acting, which is just such a loss for everyone. Did you ever face that dilemma? Did you have this mother, professional, career woman dilemma? Or, you know, or did you not face that at all within you?
A lot of offers continued to come, but little different ones. Not a heroine, but some mother's role. Bhabhi's role started coming the moment I got married. But I faced it, I did it, but I got many other nice roles also, Kranti, Ek Chadar Maili Si, ऐसा बहुत सारे films भी बीच में आने लगे मुझे. But wherever I went for shooting and all, I used to take both my daughters everywhere. And Dharamji also, wherever he's shooting, he used to call us. So we were always together, you know, with the children. They were very, very close to me, of course. That attachment is always there.
So I'm going to come back to your devotion to Krishna and to the politics, but Ram, just very quickly before that, you were saying about all the other hats that she wears as a director, producer, playback singer. Again, would you pick out of all those other experiences somebody who has either spoken about Hema's capacities as a director, or what did you discover when you were looking at her beyond being a dancer and an actress?
I think as a producer, as a director, she has been quite a quite a trendsetter. Even Shah Rukh Khan, while I was talking to him earlier in interviews, he also speaks really highly about Hema ji, because Shah Rukh Khan was launched by Hema ji in Dil Ashna Hai. There are moments like Pankaj Dheer I have spoken to. I have spoken to many of these associates whom she's worked with, who only had good things to say about Hema ji, in the sense that, you know, when she did Doordarshan, none of the commercially successful Bollywood A-list stars would be seen in Doordarshan. So she was the one who actually, you know, anchored shows and did, you know, television serials. So all those aspects were definitely there. And when she turned director with Nupur for a prime time slot, that was also again something which is a first timer. So she's been a first timer in many ways. Like when ZTV started doing their short films, she was the one to direct Mohini, based on a novel Yakshi. So she was the one to start short films. First women director to do short films. First commercial Bollywood successful actress turned director on television, Doordarshan. First commercial successful actress turned anchor for Rangoli. So all that is there in first timer in Hema ji.
And is she a good singer?
Sorry?
Is she a good singer?
Yeah, you know, I had initially when, you know, she didn't have faith
Hema ji,
in.
you know what I'm leading up to. I'm going to ask you to
Yeah.
sing right now.
The best compliment or statement, I would say, which I couldn't incorporate in my book, but it is in one of the video wishes which came from Lata ji. While I was talking to Lata ji regarding Hema ji, she mentioned that, you know, many years ago she had sent me the audio CD, or, you know, those disc of a Bengali song which she sang under Kishore Kumar's guidance. And thereafter, many years, she again sang those remix for Babul Supriyo. From there, she did a music video for him, and thereafter, she found some sort of a love or attraction in music or song, that then she kind of, you know, came out with a music album. So Lata ji, very cutely in her very Lata ji style, she said that मुझे तो मालूम ही नहीं था कि हेमा खूबसूरत दिखती है और आवाज से भी उतनी ही खूबसूरत है.
So come on, Hema, now that you've got such a compliment, you can't possibly not sing for us, you know. Please.
Album है ना? गोपाला को समर्पण is available.
Sorry.
Album is available, she is saying.
Oh, album is available. Come on, both of you have to leave commerce aside in the service of art, you know. We will buy the album outside also, but
Full
please
sales
sing,
pitch.
Hema ji.
अभी गाना है?
हाँ, please.
पर तैयारी तो नहीं की है.
तैयारी जरूरत नहीं है आप said हमारे अंदर टैलेंट है.
कौन सा गाना गाऊं? Oh, same. See, वैसे मैं क्या कहूँ कि opportunity भी आ जाता है. It's not that I was wanting to make an album or anything. Somebody came and said कि आपने बहुत अच्छा बंगाली गाना गाया है, आपको मैं एक ऑफर करता हूँ, इसको गाइए. ये कौन कंपोज किया है? One नारायण अग्रवाल जी came. So he says ये हरिप्रसाद चौरसिया जी ने किया. Oh my God, what? Then the another one he brings, he says ये पंडित जसराज जी ने किया. I was so thrilled because they are all such great stalwarts हैं. उन्होंने कंपोज करके दिया तो I said definitely I will try my best. Though I am not a singer, मैं कर लेती हूँ करके कोशिश की. I think it has come out quite well. अभी मैं गाऊंगी पता नहीं अच्छा नहीं लगेगा इतना.
कुछ doesn't matter, जैसे भी हो. I'm a Bengali. So the trigger is correct.
वो भजन चाहिए.
I think if you start clapping, then it'll work.
भजन तो सुनेंगे बट
You wanted to be Meera.
Okay, there is a surprise for you guys.
okay.
She is going to sing. Should I give the little story behind? No? No?
Okay, say.
The little story behind this is the song that she is going to sing is exclusively for Algebra Conversation,
Oh, wow, really?
for Shoma and for everybody, for Ritu and everybody. And the thing is that this is the song which Dharamji likes to hear from Hemaji's voice. This is not published or recorded, so kindly please don't record it.
No,
Thank
no.
you.
This is exclusive.
See, when I had to sing this bhajans, so I called one of my music teachers. So उससे काफी practice किया था. तो उन्होंने मुझे एक this ghazal also he made me sing, which I just recorded and I kept it for myself, which I played to Dharamji. He loved it very much.
So please, we're waiting.
आज जाने की जिद ना करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे, ऐसी बातें किया न करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो. ये यहाँ पे ऐसे ही गाया, बट जो रिकॉर्ड किया वो डेफिनेटली बेटर है. मैं आपको YouTube में डाल के सुना देती हूँ बाद में.
Wow, that was.
Yeah, what I realized is you cannot just sing like that, you know. ये गाने से पहले बहुत रियाज करना पड़ता है. You have to condition your throat. Like dance, you ask me to just dance, it's difficult. We have to work out. We have to make your hands and legs, everything come to the right formation. Then you are able to, you know, you have to build up that strength. Similarly, singing is also, abhi aap gaiye, it's actually not right. What I shouldn't have sung actually. But गाने से पहले बहुत exercise करना पड़ता है. You have to practice a lot. वो सरगम सब काफी करके, then you are able to throw your voice very well. That's what I learned. So next time I'll sing better.
That was really a treat. Thank you, Hema. So, okay, just last question, because not touching on your politics would be a waste. That did you feel an affinity with the BJP and that's why you joined the party, or is it that they offered you the Rajya Sabha seat and so by natural progression you became a
It's
BJP
all
politician?
उल्टा आप बोल रहे हैं. I think in 2000 में or 99 में, तो विनोद खन्ना जी called me to campaign for his गुरदासपुर में बुलाया. तो I was very shocked, I was very nervous. I said no, मैं नहीं आऊँगी, मुझे ये सब मालूम नहीं है. He kept saying नहीं, आप आइए तो अच्छा लगेगा, you will like it. I said what, क्या अच्छा क्या लगेगा, इतने लोगों के बीच में भाषण देना नहीं आता ना. I don't know, I can't do all that. Then my mother said, he is calling you, you must go, because he's for BJP के लिए कह रहे हैं. And my mother was a big fan of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. So she said, then आप जाके कर लो ना, मुझे क्यों बोल रहे हैं? नहीं, you have to go. So I will listen to her, whatever she says. Then she said, what do I speak? She wrote the speech to me. She gave. And then that speech I gave there in Gurdaspur, and Vinod Khanna ji won also, not because of me, I will say, but that was the starting point of my life in politics. So that is how I came. Then I started campaigning for many places. I started going because the party people wanted me to go. I started enjoying in front of people because it was not just 1,000, 2,000 people sitting and watching my dance shows or anything. It was some lakhs of people used to be there. And, to give a speech in front of them, and finally they asked for Sholay dialogue and all. It was a little fun for me, so I started accepting, and they treated me so nice. I'm sent properly in a helicopter, this, that, lot of things I enjoyed. Then they offered me, it's a party of people who offered me to be in Rajya Sabha. So which I was a president nominee. I accepted, I was there. And many people used to say कि मैं राज्य सभा में ये artist जाते नहीं हैं, they don't attend. But I was wondering कि कैसे मैं करूँगी, मेरा dance shows है, कोई film भी थोड़ा बीच में है, how will I go and attend parliament? Then Advani ji said, not to worry, whenever you are free, you come and attend, you will like it. So I listened to him. So whenever possible, I was going, attending. And then I started liking it because such big, great people giving speeches. It was so wonderful to listen to different topics, and so engrossing it was. So I enjoyed being there and listening to them only.
So then, why would you move from the ease and the security of being a Rajya Sabha, nominated member to becoming a full-time, fighting the elections and becoming a Lok Sabha member?
Yeah, my tenure got over in 6 years. Then one more year was given to me from Karnataka, but then everything got over. Then I asked them, what do I do now? तो अभी आप election लड़िए आप. That's the time Dharamji had already been a member from Lok Sabha, and he was attending, going to Bikaner, and did lot of great work there. But he is such a person, he will not say it out. He was very quiet about it, which many people took advantage and said he is not going, and all this nonsense they spoke, which I will definitely not accept it. He was going, though it was very far away from Bombay to go to Bikaner and coming. So then I felt, why is it very difficult? He used to say, oh, mujhe to abhi kabhi banne ka nahi, I don't want to be a member of all this thing. I wanted to experience it, ki ye kyun aisa bola? What is the difficulty in being in Lok Sabha? So I said, okay, when my people offered me, you fight election from wherever you want. Then I said, if I have to fight the election, I want to go only to Mathura, because that is my place, that is Krishna's place. I've been going to Mathura quite often. So I said, I will fight election from Mathura. And I was given the ticket, and I won. And then my experience, it is wonderful to be a member of parliament from Lok Sabha.
So, Hema, we'll have to stop very quickly, but just help me understand, you have this immense devotion for Krishna, and, you said for Mathura. Recently, in the name of Ram and in the name of God and Hinduism, there has been so many lynchings, killings, this whole idea of love jihad. A lot of it emanates from within the Sangh Parivar's thought process. How are you comfortable with this, or do you feel that is something that bothers you, being a Krishna devotee and seeing religion and gods used in this way? And today Ram has become almost a figure of domination. The way we say Jai Shri Ram after this man was murdered and burnt in Rajasthan, the man who burnt and murdered him, hacked him to death, says, love jihad band karo, nahi to aisi anjam hoga, Jai Shri Ram. Being within the BJP, what do you feel about this, and are you trying to fight that thought process within your party?
Religion should not be brought into this. Ram and Krishna is for our personal devotion ke saath hum dekhte hain, we all of us. So for bringing all these other activities, they should not use it, which I completely don't accept it.
And do you ever take it up within the party? Has it bothered you enough to create some kind of conversation about trying to stop the lynchings and the
Yes,
love
of
jihad?
course, they are doing the best. Modi ji is doing his best to stop all this.
Does it bother you that he hasn't at all tweeted or spoken about, say, this killing in Rajasthan or many of the other lynchings? He's very vocal, he speaks very often, but he hasn't spoken about this. Would that bother you? Again, I ask as a Krishna devotee, would that bother you?
It bothers, but when the time comes, I think he will definitely speak about it.
Okay. And one more question, which is about the Ram Mandir. What do you feel about the Ram Mandir, the breaking of the masjid, and do you feel that the temple should come up in Ayodhya?
I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, you're a politician now. You do have to take political questions.
See, I'm a politician, definitely, to serve the people of Mathura at the moment. Nothing more than that.
Okay, I'll respect that. Thank you very, very much for being here, Hema, and for opening up as you have done. It's been a real pleasure and a privilege talking to you. Thank you, Ram, for doing what you have to bring out these
you,
aspects of Hema Malini.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Both Hema Malini and Prashant will be
Before,
signing their books
one
and
sec-
the albums. Please remember to buy. Pay your dues for getting that song. And thank you very, very
Before
much.
winding up, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
One thing I would like to say, and I would request a round applause for Hema ji for completing 50 years in Bollywood this year. So she's
Wow.
a golden jubilee year for Hema Malini. So
We also have some small gifts for all of you outside. So do pick that up and look forward to seeing you in 2018. Have a great year, and I hope we keep this space alive. Thank you very much. Please bring more people into this community so that we can bring more conversations like this to you. Happy New Year, and look forward to seeing you.